Hey there. You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more of Tyranny. We are in the Scarlet Chorus camp, Zedma Arcannon and his companion verse. So let's dive back into the world and see where the story takes us. Okay, we have arrived and we also made a few enemies already. Zedma's style of diplomacy and negotiation is not welcome among the rabble, rough and tumble life of the Scarlet Chorus. So I'm going to push the tab key here so we can see what's going on. And also in between episodes, I leveled up Zedma. I added a point to his finesse. In the talent tree, I took the first stage to give him some more lore, which allowed me to make some good spells here. I've added Searing Palm. I've updated Searing Palm, and I've added Rim Spike, and then Verse has two spells to work with from here. So let's explore the world. See what's happening at camp. This is the first person to talk to. Death Knell. You? As much an accusation as a question, the broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So you're Tunon's Fatebinder. I was expecting something more impressive. She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death Knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours, for as long as it amuses me. The fighter effortlessly spins a bronze sword about in her hand. Let's get one thing clear. Stick to your words and law. Leave the fighting for the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard to those of us having a proper bit of carnage sport. We've got enough useless people dying for our name as it is. All our horde recruits seem good for, of late, is piling in a reeking mound on the battlefield. She hums low to herself and flips her sword from side to side with several deft flicks of her wrist. Keeps up, and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards. Again. Now, what do you need? Zedma, taken aback by her very forward manner, can't help but to ask, what were you expecting? Let's see. Death Knell counts on her fingers. Conducting some mental tally. From your deeds during the conquest to how you've helped us since then. I suppose I didn't expect much, and you've done nothing to challenge it. But Scarlet Chorus standards, by Scarlet Chorus standards, you're no more ordinary than a conscript. Work a little harder on setting yourself apart. Maybe someday you'll live up to your name. So I think that her answer for that would have been different had we sided more with the Scarlet Chorus in the Conquest section at the beginning of this Let's Play. But we haven't, I don't know, we helped the disfavored. We helped the Scarlet Chorus a lot too, but I'm imagining that answer depends on what you've done. Which is one of the things that I like so much about Tyranny, is how things change it based on what you've done. Zedma ignores her confrontative attitude and goes right to what's really important, which is, you said something about the horde thinning. Now, this would greatly intrigue Zedma because a thinner horde means a higher chance of failure and a definite chance of death. swelling until it's thundering, then crashing and receding. It's been the way of the chorus for as long as I've been in it. She offers a one-shouldered shrug, ambivalent of anything, but more likely just uncaring. We take our prisoners alive. We give them a chance to live, to be reborn into something better. Putting any and every able body to the sword like the disfavored do is nothing but a waste. A conquered enemy is a new ally. It merely requires the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem of lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. The Vendrian Guard, strengthened by their numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn. So I've a better plan hatched. And that would be, says Zedma. I'm thinking. We redouble our efforts to recruit settlers, focusing on the unaligned and unsuspecting, instead of flushing ourselves to the gills with oathbreakers claimed from the battlefield. And Zedma says, how do you exactly plan to convince these unaligned and unsuspecting settlers? Well, Deathnell considers, a knife point has sufficed well enough in the past, but you've inspired me to try a more diplomatic approach this day. Because Zedma is a diplomat, as the diplomat of Tunin, the adjudicator. What do you say, Binder? You might be able to ease them into the idea and save the lives of their friends and neighbors in the process. If it means expediting the end to this meandering conflict and giving us all a chance to get out of this valley alive, so be it. That opens up the remote settlement on our world map. The Fury howls a satisfied laugh and smacks you dead on the back. Ha ha! My methods are surefire. You'll see. I'll mark the settlement on your map. I can't wait to see the outcome of your efforts. So, Zedma says, curious as always to find out about this camp and its inhabitants, Zedma's whole basic philosophy is the more that you know and can keep in the annals of history, the less likely you are to repeat the things that have happened in the past, or the bad things, to learn from them. Now, he's quite naive in this, belief, but that is his current belief. Let's see if this playthrough will change him as he moves through the world. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? Zedma says, eyeing the rabble walking nearby. We are the voices of Nerat's glory made manifest. In the chorus, strength rises, and the weak feed the soil. Deathnell smiles, standing tall as she extols the army. Our ways terrify the cowardly and shock the naive. But our traditions exist to offer promise and prestige to those fit to claim it. We abandon all petty rules for one simple law, Fatebinder. The strongest must lead. And Zedma asks, you consider yourself to be the strongest? What is your role in the Scarlet Chorus? Deathnell frowns, her eyes narrowing. Do you not recognize a scarlet fury when you see one? We are the warrior spirit, of course. Scholars of sword and shiv. And I think I just mispronounced sword again. Yeah, sword. Sword and shiv. She folds her arms, puffing out her chest. In peace, we train those tough enough to endure our lessons, but wise enough to learn from the best. In battle, it is our duty to slay our foes and inspire the horde with our skill and bravery. Deathnell clicks her tongue, looking aside to the others in the camp with an eye roll. We are fearless vanguard of this confused but glorious rabble. So military life is suited to you? You enjoy it? Oh, it's a wonder of wonders. I eat what I want, and I do whatever else I want. Sometimes I even combine pleasures. You might be wondering why I'm skipping some of the words here. It's because I'm trying to keep this as family-friendly as possible. My enthusiasm for the work brought me here. A decorated Scarlet Fury veteran, eh? But I'm looking for advancement. And if it means killing one of the gang bosses, I'm not above taking a swing at someone bigger than me. Verse said, "They can be bigger than you, sister. Just make sure they don't hit harder than you." Wise words, sister. I suppose that's it for now. I'm going to see what else is happening in the camp, says Zedma. It's a cozy place you have here. That brings us a new quest to travel to the remote settlement. Over here, these arrows are splintered. They're fletching mottled. Yeah, Zedma is not impressed. Battle plans are scribbled over a blood-stained map of the tiers. Arrows point to the inner ring of the Vendrian's Valley, and small circles are drawn around the citadel. Very complicated map. Yike. That's a nasty barrel of nastiness. This is Salvros. Hail, Fatebinder of Tunin. Zedma recognizes this to be a disfavored emissary for the Scarlet camp. Just like Bitter Quip was the emissary, the Scarlet Course emissary, in the disfavored camp. Hail, Fatebinder of Tunin. The disfavored officer pounds a heavy gauntlet against his chest in a stiff but warm greeting. Were I a betting or a superstition man, I'd say fortune must favor me today. I am not. But I'm pleased to meet you all the same. Now, what brings you to my little slice of personal damnation, otherwise known as... He spreads his thickly gloved hands wide. This mud-stinking chorus camp. Ah, he's happy to be here. You act like it's a punishment to be assigned this detail. Though I can't say I blame you, says Zedma. Well, isn't it? I know I screwed up to get here. Got 3 days in the hole and a nice little promotion to go with my new post. Well, I won't be making the same mistake twice when it comes to the Iron Marshal. He juts his chin toward the distant valley. I should be out there, fighting for Ash's glory, not standing here ready to run back a report, should something ever finally happen. So, says Zedma, you got on the wrong side of Iron Marshal Arenos. What exactly did you do? Made the grave mistake of suggesting the Iron Marshal wasn't fully utilizing the Scarlet Course. Well, here I am, a liaisons officer to a camp of liars and cheats who'd rather gut me than ask for my aid. Guess she showed me. So, you're a liaisons officer and need to run reports back. Have you anything to report? Maybe you've noticed something unusual during your time here. He cants his head to one side, taken aback. What about the chorus isn't unusual? The army itself is a strange, malnourished beast. But no, the screamers seem mostly in order, sir. I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying, sir. Still as a post, he studies you sharply, scarcely appearing to breathe. Of course. Even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this sty. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail, and it's not for lack of trying on my part. What do you mean? Says Zedma. I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide insight regarding proper stratagem and request a stock of troops from Iron Marshal Arenos for reinforcements if needed. But they won't listen to me, nor confide in me, nor fight beside the brethren I could request. Zedma says, here it is again. Our lives are at risk, Salvros. And then, even then, you can't get along with the chorus? Begging your pardon, sir, but I never fought a battle where my life wasn't on the line. Kind of the nature of war, isn't it? He's already given us the answer to this, but I'm just curious. So why are you stationed with the chorus? From the way most of my days go, you'd think I was here to row with the Blood Channers and Scarlet Furies, but my post is to represent the disfavored's interests before the Fifth Eye and the Scarlet Choruses. I see. To represent the disfavored's interests before the Fifth Eye and the Scarlet Choruses before Iron Marshal Arenos. So represent their interests before the Scarlet Chorus gets their say. Not that I've gotten to do either in so much as the last span. Fifth Eye is the general of the, well, I guess the second in command of the chorus. So you've had a lot of time to observe. What do you think of the Scarlet Chorus? They're rabid dogs, the lot of them. Ever seen a screamer racing headlong into battle like a hound chasing a winter hare? I have. And I can tell you, more often than not, it's the screamer who ends up skinned and gutted. Leave the campaign to the chaos that's the chorus, and we're doomed. Interesting. Zedma would find that to be very interesting. Just because, in the end, Zedma's whole point is to, his whole point is to save to save himself, and that means everybody else in the valley. Most of these provisions are withered with rot. This is locked. We can't unlock it yet, but we're going to train up subterfuge for verse, and eventually, hopefully, be able to open that up. What else have we got here? A rusted iron sword for selling. Yep, these spears are brittle and rusted. Yeah, okay. That's the go to the bathroom part of the camp. The soldier nods at you. Horde. Some dinner tonight. Then over here, and then I'll head back over the center part of the camp. Quiet Shiv, who probably still hates us. More fish. And we're not opening that anytime soon. 47 subterfuge. This place just looks like a terrible dump. What is... Yep. It looks like there's something back here, according to the handy map. That's a subterfuge one. Oh, here. Okay, let's come back and talk to Reg and Baz. who are standing in front of a place where we can rest. Which it does look like Verse might need a break. Well, look who we have here. Chewing on some manner of cud, a heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as she talks. The Fatebinder finally shows himself. I'm Reg, and this is Boz. We were wondering when you might pay the camp a visit. The Fifth Eye has been a little, starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz knits her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. So this is, these are the people who can give us any assistance we may need. Reg clears his throat loudly, scowling at Baz. Something like that. Or something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who will give you answers, or even a smile. Yeah, we've noticed. So, anything we can do for you? Well, you've mentioned Fifth Eye, says Zedma. I'm going to be speaking to him. What can you tell me about him? Reg trades an uncomfortable glance with Baz and lowers his voice to a whisper. They say he shares a direct link with the voices of Narad. Guard your tongue around him. He's a little wild, bloodthirsty, mad. Baz thinks for a moment. Brilliant. Reg flinches and glances over his shoulder. I was going to say eccentric. The chorus isn't picky about who joins the ranks, so you can expect to find some unusual types. Most are as likely to kill you as promote you. This sounds like such a great place to spend a weekend. Tell me about your time in the Scarlet Chorus. I'm eager to find out how your army ticks. Reg and I were conscripted at the gates of judgment. He used to fight for Akon, me for Azur. Baz chuckles, scratching her chin in thought. Nope, that's sketching. How many fights we survived so far? 11? No, 14. 14. I count each day in Sunder separately. The chorus is... Baz looks about the camp and shrugs. Not as bad as it smells. The strong, like me and Reg, we're allowed to take what we want, what we deserve. We live only as well as our strength affords us, as it should be. Yeah, remind me not to pick a fight with her. So, Vendrian's well. You guys have done some scouting, I understand, says Zedma. What do you know about it? The walls might seem imposing, but the Vendrian Guard do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. We took the Citadel once before. We can take it again. We have to, don't we? Reg looks up at the imposing tower of the spire. Though Kyros knows I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. She follows his gaze and shakes her head. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. It's not cowardice, it's just superstition. You're afraid of the spire? Says Zedma. Why? Sorry, Fatebinder. I shouldn't mention anything. The fact of the matter is, we were told to stay away from the spires and the old walls ever since we were babes. Of all the dumb childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed the same. Imagine a soldier of the course pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it. Reg frowns. The Bane lurk around those old sites and kill anything they can catch unawares. Oops, wrong voice. The Bane lurk around in those old sites, kill anything they can catch unawares. I've no wish to meet the Bane in combat unless there are 100 blood chanters at my back. I'm getting a lot of practice in doing different voices on the fly and quickly. She twists her lip into a frown as she considers this. Me neither, I suppose. We'll ask them about themselves later. because we'll be coming back to the Scarlet Course camp. And we have one more important conversation to have over here. These threadbare tents show signs of hard use and long-term exposure to the elements. So basically, it's not very warm. This is Snigler Dagos. Upon noticing your approach, the merchant straightens his posture and smiles. What an honor! The name Snigler Dagos. Originally from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire, I've since accepted a nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kyros' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. He winces a little. Yeah, so much for local imported. It's not much. But let me know if you see anything that piques your interest. So he probably, we're looking for a scroll, if I don't already own it. Oh, several scrolls here. Channeled strength, precise action, and we already own this scroll, I'm pretty sure. It's not, yeah, we already know the sigil, so I'm not going to buy that. Would it let me? Yep, it would, which I'm not going to do. Staggering burn, poisons. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to buy these things yet until, wow, need a lot more coin for that. Until, we have a full party and I really want to start to outfit them. Is there anything in here we can sell? Yes. Okay, let's do that trade. That gives us 2 more sigils. Here. That's the journal. Sigils. I think it... Oh, wait, no. Gotta go to inventory first and learn them. In case you're... Oh, we have 3 here. Cool. So you just right-click on them and click to learn. This is precise action. Increases accuracy. This one, oh, we don't have enough lore for it yet. And this one increases, oh, affects targets within a cone in front of the caster. Perfect. Okay. We'll use that over here. Channeled strength, wonderful, and increases accuracy. Good. Okay, our final person to talk to is the Mad Fifth Eye. Let's see here. What will his voice be? Whatever it needs to be, it's going to be crazy. The Binder of Tunon arrives. Squealing with teenagers' timbre, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with the captives. But worry not. Worry not. We have more fun. We'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears. I believe this is the personal gang of the Voices of Nerat. These top enforcers of the chorus answer only to the Archon of Secrets, and all gang members must follow their orders as if they were the words of the Archon of Secrets himself. In contrast to the poorly equipped mobs they command, the Crimson Spears are armed with fine bronze and rigorous training, and their skills are regularly tested by rivals for their status. In the Scarlet Chorus, even top gang leaders must be ready to prove their strength if they wish to lead. The Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-splattered glove. Yuck. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Chirps of laughter emanate from under his mask. This dude is not working with a full deck of cards. I'm not here to follow your every order, says Zedma, but it is true that we all need to learn to work together to stop this edict. In case you were unclear on it, we all die in this valley if we cannot meet the demands of Kyros. But of course, you are Tunan's concubine, not mine. I envy your long leash and hope you will grace us with your prowess. Oh, if only to set an example for the rabble. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel, beneath the mountain spire, but we have learned this is not their only nest. The fifth eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Oh, given their patterns of attack, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the Outer Valley. Unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. You should know, Fifth Eye, that the disfavored think you can't control your horde, and that many are defecting back to the Vendrian God. Tell me this is not true. Wrong! And perhaps... He gestures with his spear in an arc toward the sprawling camp. It is no mean feat to herd this many desperate lives. For every 2 hands of humanity, there's at least 1 finger that snaps from the stress of our ways. A few have been lost on the margins, I won't deny that. But if you store grain, expect some rat feces. And if you lead killers, expect some desertion. You've had how large a force, and for all these weeks, you've let the... Yeah, I think this is what he'd say. You have how large a force, and for all these weeks, you've let the enemy move freely through the valley. Oh, I'm hurt. Insult my manners or maturity, but do not insinuate that I sit idle when there's blood to be shed. The Crimson Spear claps his fists together. We have dealt with countless Oathbreakers, but 1 group remains at large, despite our best efforts. Captain Paylox's crew consistently evades or kills our own gangs. Paylox would be a name that would be familiar to Zedma, because I believe it's a character, the name of a character we met in Edgering Ruins at the second episode. So let me get this straight, Fifth Eye. You need help taking out these Oathbreakers. And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be a more efficient solution, the smarter answer is to kill them. Oh, it's not to kill them, but to add their strength to ours. They're like the crazy Borg of this world. My last groups of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners. One of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendrian God's secondary camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help, Fatebinder, questioning this Varia Kell. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try and take their captain and show them the wisdom of joining the chorus. Is that not Archon of Secret's finest skill? I thought he could interrogate anyone. An unintelligible mutter escapes from under Fifth Eye's mask as his posture stiffens. His voice becomes very clear. I do not tell the voices of Narat what to do, nor do I question his motives. The Archon is busy plotting the efficient destruction of these Oathbreakers, and is not to be disturbed. Verse joins in to add, I've known the Archon to demand personal interrogations, but it's only ever been with leaders, mages, or others of great merit. I've often imagined the interrogation process is not to be taken lightly. Perhaps it's downright exhausting for Narat? Yeah, he would definitely not say number 3. He probably wouldn't say number 2. He doesn't really need to bargain for money and that kind of stuff. For rings or coin as it is in this world. I will speak with the prisoner. I will meet you there. She is waiting by the other prisoners. So it's always a little bit painful as a player to press a button that knows that it will get you less loot, basically, but it's not really enough the character would do. So we're going to end this conversation here, and a couple more things to do here in the camp. There's a scroll here glowing with mystical energy, which we're going to snatch up and grab up. And then the map tells me there's something out here.
Can't do that.
Oh. Want to go over here. Oh crap, it's locked. So we will have to raise subterfuge when we start doing training. I'm going to go out on, do a couple of these small quests, gain some favor with the different factions, and then be able to open up more conversations with the trainers before asking them more personal questions. Just like in life, you want to, before asking someone personal questions, maybe know them a little bit better. So we're going to save here. And I'm going to take us out to the main menu so that I might say to you that I am so glad you joined me for another episode of Tyranny. This is very enjoyable for me to do. It's very enjoyable for me to practice doing all the voices. Let me know what you think about that, if it's working out for you and pleasurable to listen to. I hope so. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below, and if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here for more of the world of Tyranny in the next episode. And thank you, as always, for watching.